Hello, hello, my lovely people. Just arrived here to go look at the land that I seen online that was owner finance. And I noticed that it's grown up a lot, but I do think I see a power meter on here. One thing that I wanted to make sure whenever I wanted to buy a home, that it was near electricity, power line and water, water source to the city. So right here look like that may be the power source and everything like this. So from the GPS, it looks like the property is right here. So not bad. You always want to drive and actually lay eyes on the property. I thought I was going to be able to walk the property, but it is extremely overgrown. And I think those orange stickers right there, those little ribbons, if y'all can see, is marking where the property begins and probably goes all the way down here. Um, and I believe that's how you can figure out where the property starts and ends. So, but it's extremely overgrown. I wanted to ride through here during the day just to see, the layout. How the people, was it a real crime infested property area? Just want to drive. It's out in the country on the outskirts, so I'm really loving that. It's a lot of houses in here. I thought I was going to be away from people, but it seemed like everybody kind of quiet. It's enough room for everybody to be spaced out. Everybody's not on top of each other. Even if I was over here in my yard or my property, what they got going on over there wouldn't interfere with me at all. And it looked like a well kept up, quiet neighborhood. That's why I always say you want to drive on the weekends, early mornings. You want to drive in the middle of the day. You want to drive during the week and at night. If you're seriously thinking about purchasing some property, you want, because this is going to be where you're going to be at most of the time. This is an investment property. This is where me and my family plan to stay. So like I said, I had planned on that's why I had my little boots on, my little boots and stuff. I had planned on walking the property, but it's extremely overgrown. I had went to the tractor supply store to see how much that little push thing to knock all this down myself would cost. But tractor supply, they don't rent out equipment. I didn't know that. So the lady was nice enough to tell me to go to Home Depot or Lowe's, somewhere like that. So yeah, this is what I'm looking at. Like I said, it's extremely overgrown, and it's in a cul-de-sac. So y'all know me, I love cul-de-sacs. I love that, it's just the end of the road. You ain't got a whole bunch of people riding down through your neighborhood, you know what I'm saying, being nosy and stuff. So over here has a mailbox, but I don't believe this is the address that is for sale by owner. But they do have a mailbox. So I'm pretty sure whenever you doing land, you have to have an address for for that parcel. So I had planned on coming back up here on during the week and going to the Register of Deeds office and check with everyone. It says there's no back taxes on the property, but you always want to do your due diligence. You want to check what you, because you don't can't always go what people say. You know what I'm saying? You hope everybody be honest, but this is $25,000 just for the land, and I think it's worth it. I really do think it's worth it. If this is the other orange little ribbon. This property is a nice size, y'all. I'm hoping that's what that means. But like I said, that's why I'm gonna come back up here next week. It's just currently Saturday. I'm gonna come back up here next week and talk to the people in this county, get more information. So I don't know if y'all can see that orange ribbon right there. So all this, all the way back up there where you see my car, will be my property. And this is owner finance. That's why I said the best way to find owner finance is either in online, or you do your own driving through, the areas that you wanted to be, that you have desires to live in eventually one day. So yeah, I mean, I like it. I really do like it. Yeah, these trees. I don't know if I could sell these trees. And look, I'm jumping ahead of myself, but I might could talk to someone and possibly be like, they cut the trees down. I could sell them to them. Is people do stuff all different kind of ways. So I don't know nothing about any of this. I have to do more extensive research. But like I said, this is owner finance. I did find this property online. I have broken down notes, extensive notes, things I want to ask them when next week comes, because this is a weekend. I just went to tour the property early Saturday morning. See how people moving around. I know I'm familiar, kind of familiar with this. Ever had loan closings in this area, so I know I'm not too far from the grocery stores and stuff, the main area. But I'm not quite sure how close or how near I am or far I am from the fire department and the hospital. That's always important because, like I said, I plan on aging in place. That means this is going to be my permanent property. So this is where I'm going to be, growing old in. And I want to be able to have access to all the necessary things that I need so my children won't have to worry so much about, mommy, being by herself. So I don't see any ADUs. I think that's what it's called, like adult dwelling units here in this housing development. But there are no HOAs. I thank God there are no HOAs, and I'm surprised more people haven't snatched this up. But some people like HOAs. I didn't want an HOA. So there's another thing that I looked at when I was looking for this owner finance land on what could possibly go on here. They also said in the listing that mobile homes couldn't be placed on this property, but modular homes could, and I think tiny homes could, and of course traditional stick-built homes. So like I said, my goal and my mission is to find out how much it would cost for me to build my house myself. Right, that means me do as much as I can myself. Of course, hire subcontractors to help me do it, but what I can't do, I hire out, for someone else to help me along the process. But this is a lot to tear down. Like, it is so freaking thick, you can't even look through it. So what I'm about to do, I'm about to um, go to Home Depot. That's another thing. Go to Home Depot and see how much that device costs. Like I said, I just want to get my numbers together, see if it even makes sense. Because it's not a lot. It's not a lot to hold this property for owner's financing, and then you'll pay it off. Like I said, it's only going for $24,000, so that's not bad. You get a car for $24,000. Just imagine a whole piece of property, and this is nice area. It's very quiet. It's very clean. Um, and almost everybody has a garage attached to the house. I seen a lady sit down on her porch, although people ain't always friendly. And I am black in America. She didn't realize, but I would like to ask her, does she know of particular home builders? Because so many houses look similar. I don't know, but if they found their own home builder. But that's another thing. I didn't want my home to be like a cookie cutter, like everybody's house looked the same. They're just different colors and stuff. I wanted to be able to design my house a little different. So that's something else when I go to the zoning department next week to ask them, can I do something a little, non-traditional? If that means, like, I ain't talking about no container home, nothing like that, but something a little different. And I think this said 2,200 square foot is what this is, 2,200 square foot property. So of course I only want like a 900 square foot home. I only want like a little cottage home, two one. But I see a lot of people got their let me show you right quick, got their let me see, can y'all see that? They got their front of their house cleared off. I didn't want the front of my house cleared off. I wanted to be back up in the woods. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want, I want my driveway and then my house back up in the woods. But I don't even know if you could do that. So that's stuff I just gotta know, to remember to ask them when I go to the zoning department in this particular area. Do you have to have your front open and accessible? I know the driveway situation is going towards the street. And also I want my driveway, my garage, like, to be on the side of the house. And I don't know if it could be on the side of the house, like when you're coming up the driveway and the garage on the side. I don't know if the garage has to be facing the street. So it's just a lot of questions I have. I know I'm jumping ahead of myself, but y'all, if I can do it, y'all can do it. This is just stuff you need to think about, just in case you haven't thought about it. Like I said, I haven't even got any design, models for my home yet. Like, I was up most of the night just looking at architect designs for a home. I haven't even decided what. I know is one that I want, even if I have to do the modular. See, I'm not trying to be taking out no loan, right? The modular that I took y'all on about a couple months ago, it was like $300,000 for the modular. But he said everything inside was included, but I don't know. I'm just not trying to take out no loan, y'all. So just say to rent that thing, that device, to tear down all this wood, all this right here, clean it, and say about, I'm just guessing, y'all, about 3,000. If y'all know, leave down in the comments, like 3,000, 4,000. It already have electric on here. I don't have to pay for that. It already has water on here. I could get connected to the city water. That's not nothing to worry about. And clearing the land and buying the supplies for the house, I don't see me kicking out $300,000. And y'all, I'm not in a rush, but my children are getting older, and it's time for me to start doing something that I want to do for me. So that's why I'm like, just looking at the cost of everything. These houses are very pretty. They're very nice, basic, simple houses, nothing extravagant, but they're very pretty, well put together. And this is, you could tell it's not too much of old neighborhood because the house is like up to date, but the houses aren't too complex for me to, if push comes to shove, maybe get a house built for $120,000. Maybe I could find a contractor to let me pay them as they do stuff. I don't even know if that's an option. I do need to reach out to some contractors this week coming and ask them, if I does, would they consider taking me on as a owner builder where I just pay them like to, pay them along the way until everything is done. I don't know how that works. If y'all know how that works, that might be my next option to go to a builder, contractor, and just be like, look, I have to pay you. I'm paying you out of pocket. I'm not doing nothing through the bank. You know, you will get paid once everything is completed. I'm just worried because I drive around looking for homes and stuff. I see where the houses weren't finished. It just left. Like you see the concrete, the base of the house, bricks. You don't see nothing else. Sometimes you even see the framing of the house, and it's just there. And also on Zillow, it's a lot of houses that's marked down right now. And when you go look on the inside of the house on the pictures on Zillow, you see that it's gutted, like it's nothing there. Like they had to stop the project. So I just don't want to go through that situation. I want to take y'all with me because I'm very excited. I want to do this. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I feel it's gonna happen. But so I think someone bought this because it says private property. So I think that's why that mailbox there. Somebody bought this. That's why the mailbox there. And maybe they figuring it out too, like I am, what they gonna do. So y'all see that sign say private property? I don't know if y'all can see it or not. Sun is in my eyes. But anyway, it says private property. So now that I'm thinking about it, I think they may have bought this property over here and they waiting to get their monies together too, like most of us. But like I said, my whole goal and plan is to be debt free, building this house. Building this house brick by brick, stick by stick, you know, whatever, light fixture by light fixture, cabinet door by cabinet door, all out of pocket, all by the blood, sweat, and tears and faith that I have that this will come to pass. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I tell y'all, if how bad you want, you're just gonna have to grind. You have to figure it out. You got to be creative. You know what I'm saying? Got to up your hustle game. You know what I'm saying? And also paying on no credit cards because you never know. You might have to apply for a line of credit, maybe $5,000, all you need to finish it. You know what I'm saying? And in the meantime, you got to start budgeting for, like, if you need to replace a roof, like say get a roof. Roofs are good, what, 15, 20 years, you know what I'm saying, according to what type of roof you get. Then you got to make sure you putting away along the way to replace, stuff break down. Then I got to think about the AC unit, you know what I'm saying, got to have central air and heat, how much those units cost, you know what I'm saying. So electrical, paying for somebody to do the electrical and stuff. I don't know how to do that, you know what I'm saying. So I've been thinking ahead, and I'm just sharing this thoughts with y'all in case y'all on the same journey as me. Like, yeah, Nikki, you're right. There's a lot of stuff to go into it. And you think about it, you do as much as you can with hiring day laborers. That's what I'm going to do, hire day laborers. And I want to work mainly on the weekends because I know during the weekday I'm going to be grinding. I'm going to be grinding like nobody's business. And of course getting my rest, eating right. But yeah, that on the weekends I see me and my day laborers coming up here and working. So y'all let me know what y'all think about this. I'm just so happy. I'm so happy. And I'm going to take y'all along with me every step of the way. If you don't hear me mention it, just know that I'm still working. I'm still trying to figure out things. Like I said, I have to call the person who's over this property because it's owner finance. I got to call them first thing next week and talk to them more about everything and just see, how soon can I start working on the property. Now, if they tell me I put my deposit down and I can't have access or do anything to the property until everything is paid off, I might want to hold off, or I might just be like, okay, cool. Then that'll give me time to start getting my contractors in place, my supplies in place. Because also, you're going to want to put cameras up. You're going to want to put cameras up somewhere because you don't want nobody coming out here stealing your supplies at night. Now, this doesn't look like that type of neighborhood. And mind you, I'm out in the outskirts. I'm very much out in the outskirts. You know what I'm saying? Those houses up there. But you just never know. People always up to no good. You know what I'm saying? You got family members coming to visit. And they're like, oh, somebody down the street building a house. And then they come down here at night, hauling up your stuff, putting it in the back of their trucks and stuff. So that's something that I'm thinking about. But I'm just talking out loud with y'all, sharing with y'all my thoughts. But yeah, I'm glad to see that there. So like I said, I could connect to the city for water. That's the power box. And we use Duke Energy down here, but yeah, I'm excited, y'all.